Welcome to the forecast. To my right, AP18 himself. That's Alex. How you doing?
Hello, everybody.
And across from me, that is G-Dub himself. That is Garrett. How you doing?
Doing good.
So once the comics forecast, my name is Marvin. Here are the comic books coming out for the 29th of May, 2019. A rare forecast where we're all in studio. Actually, it might be becoming more common. We'll see here how this goes. Ascender number 2. That's the first one there from Image Comics this week. Jeff Lemire, Dustin Nguyen. Alex talked about it on his Gauntlet pick this week. Alex, what do we think here? Ascender number 2.
You know, this is one of those books that I think you went from Descender to Ascender, and I think that's what's most exciting, is to know that this book just carries on from what we've already read. Dustin Nguyen painted art is fantastic. Of course, we got Jeff Lemire, the master himself, writing this book. What else could you ask for? I think actually what makes me most excited is the fact that this is a magic, quote unquote, magic book. It's based more on, that's not necessarily shaman, but
well, yeah, the
mystical things.
If you think about Descender, it was very heavy on shut up, on like the science of it all, and then like robots became like artificial intelligence, basically.
Yeah.
So are these harvesters now the source of magic? Are they created robots that create artificial intelligence? Now magic is just the next stage of evolution for these robots.
I didn't think of it that way.
Just because like they became like biological in nature, like those ethereal ones that were at the end of Descender.
Yeah, the what were they called? The Ancients or whatever?
Yeah, Ancients, yep.
Right. So, I mean, it could have something to do with that. That's why I'm like magic and robots. It's like no one's ever tackled that, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how that works.
It's an interesting concept to have.
Yeah, it's good theory. That's what I thought too. Black Science number 40. This is Rick Remender, Moreno Decini. Whoa, and Mateo Scudder also. No Authority But Yourself, part 2 of 4. Alex, I got to throw it back to you because Garrett doesn't get this book. Me and you both get this book. I put a pause on it because this motherfucker wasn't coming out. And then also at a certain point, I kind of lost the story. So that's when you switch to trades. But have you been keeping up with this? You stocking them up? I
have issue 39. That's the last one that has come out. And I think it had been like, I don't know, 4 months since the last one. This book has really lost its steam, and that's unfortunate. This book was amazing. Those first 23 issues, and then kind of this last half, it's kind of lost its flair.
Yeah, about 23, 25.
Because I think once,
at the end of
once he gives up his power.
What was the arc with the God World?
Yeah,
God's World. I think that was the best one.
That was great.
When they moved to being like superheroes. Yeah. Well, then
it lost its mojo for me. I'm excited for this book to end, just to see if it really can end on a strong note. I mean, my favorite character has been gone for a long time.
Shaman?
He was my favorite. He was the best.
Yeah, he was
best.
Walking Dead 191. This is the second printing. I just wanted to bring it up because me and Garrett do not read it anymore. Alex was reading the trades and then he stopped. But I think at this point we're okay for spoilers, right? It's the second printing at this point. Do you know what happens in 191? Did you read about it?
191, no.
Oh. They killed Rick.
Are you serious?
Yep. He's not in the book anymore. There you go. Spoilers.
Wow.
There you go. He's gone. Adios.
191. They couldn't pull it off in 200. They
they got to surprise you. 200 you're expecting the death. 191. I actually do like that choice, just to kill him off in a random issue. But
suppose.
Let's see. Dark Horse Comics. Nothing here that we get, but a new number 1. It's called Stranger Things 6 number 1. This is a teenage girl with Jody Hauser, Edgar Salazar, Keith Champagne. A teenage girl with precognitive abilities has struggled through a lifetime of exploitation, only to end up a pawn of a government agency that wants to harness her powers, for their own end. You've seen the show Stranger Things, but this is your first glimpse on the strangeness that happened before the series began. So this is called Stranger Things 6. As we know in the show, there's 11. And who was in season 2?
8.
8.
So now we see the story of 6.
See, I'm kind of bummed by that a little bit. Because, is Dark Horse now creating continuity comics for, TV shows?
Yes.
See, I don't know. That's one of those things that I wish that they didn't do. I mean, I know for some
think they
people want to
shouldn't
see
touch
it, but it's like, let that be. That's going to be a show it's going to continue to go
Right.
on. Don't either steal thunder, and I get that's
Here's the
maybe-
thing: people hated that 8 storyline. I actually liked it in the show. So maybe now they're like, "Hey, we were going to do this, but just make it a comic now." It doesn't say that anymore. That's a total guess.
No, and I get that, but part of me is just like, if this show is so big and epic, let it just be the show. This is one of those things where instead of going back and making a comic book,
Well, they're explaining stuff. I don't like when they explain stuff.
Yeah.
Just like, I mean, back in the first season, it was so mysterious around 11. Now they're explaining who captured her and what they were trying to do, and there's multiple other people. I think that all explanation is just like, no, just let her be this person. We don't know how she got her powers, but now we're moving on, and she helps these kids.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, they already went down that
money.
They already went down that path with 8, so this doesn't surprise me. If this was like the first thing, I'd be like, hey, what are you going to do that for? But they already tried that. So.
Well, it just seems like, I mean, for me, this is a money grab, and that bugs me. Anyway.
TMT ongoing number 94. Tom Waltz, Kevin Eastman, David Watcher. City at War Part 2. As battle lines are drawn in the criminal underworld of New York City, Old Hob takes his mission to the next level, and he'll have an unexpected help from one of the TMNT. Alex, what do we think?
Unexpected help. I have a feeling I know who it is. This book is amazing. I think since they started the Pantheon arc in 80 probably, give or take, this book has been spot on, amazing. There's stakes at hand. Your favorite friends can die. We've seen some friends pass away. This is one of those things, if you're looking to hop on, too bad. You're too late.
I'm going to hop on 100. What do you think about that?
I couldn't tell you, but you've missed out on some greatness.
Missed on 99 issues of awesome.
My only complaint ever for this is that my favorite artist isn't on this book right now. He's doing Shredder in Hell. Santaluco, I miss you. I wish you were back on this book.
I would assume if he's still involved, even with Shredder in Hell, that means that he will come back at one point.
I tell you what, he did the final battle between Shredder and Splinter, that last arc, amazing. And he did the City Apart, which was the when Casey got stabbed. God, those were two of the best arcs in this book. Cannot wait to see him show up again.
I'm looking here, Alex. I think this is. I don't know. Is this the series? Kid started in 2012. Is that it? Eastman and Lard's Tale of the Turtles. No, that's not it.
Nope. Because this started. I gotta think here. I was a junior, so maybe, I don't know, it's been like 2011, I think is when it started. 2010, 2011.
Okay. Well, I was going to do a little investigating here, and I think I just solved the question. Here it is. TMT, I just wanted to check and see on Comixology Unlimited, since I do have access. Wanted to see how much of it was on Unlimited, and it looks like we have... Are
you going to read it all before the show, before 100 comes out?
I don't know. Might go back.
Pull that on a Descendant?
I am a TMNT fan. I should show you when I was a kid. I got the full bed set. I got curtains. I had like every single toy. Guess what? Those curtains burned one time. I'll tell you that story a little later. All the way up to volume 7. Where does that get me? What issue? Volume 7, number 28. That's not far enough.
No. I think it's 28 issues.
Only 28 issues, but they haven't unlimited.
Might have to try Hoopla.
Yeah, we'll try that later. Here we go. Let me go back to the list here. Transformers, number 6, A Bold New Era. Ryan Ruckley, Bethany McGuire Smith. Garrett, how's this Transformers book going?
It's going really great.
Cover.
You can really tell that it doesn't seem like there's going to be a build up to the War of Cybertron. It's basically almost here. So it does kind of remind me a lot of like Cowl. You know how there's the detective that we all liked in the first issue, and by the end of the first issue, spoilers, he dies. It's kind of like that. You think maybe this arc could last quite a while, but it seems like the War of Cybertron's like literally we're almost at it.
Is he Optimus Prime already?
He has not got the Optimus Prime
Is
status
Orion
yet.
Pax?
I think so. There's a guy above him. I bet when the War of Cybertron starts, that guy dies and he becomes Optimus Prime.
Today in my work meeting, Transformers came up, and I was trying to figure out. I knew Orion Pax and I knew Optimus Prime. Does he come when he comes back from the death? in the movie, the original Transformers movie in the 80s. Doesn't he come back as a different name?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen that.
Oh, okay. Oh, he dies. Spoiler. DC Comics always making changes. Recently, AT&T merged with WB. They're making some changes over there at DC. Tom King off of Batman. We'll talk about that one day, hopefully. Batman Last Night on Earth, number 103. This is Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, and Jonathan Glappin. Bruce Wayne wakes up at Arkham Asylum young, sane, and he was never Batman. So begins the spiraling tale of the Dark Knight as he embarks on a quest through a devastated DC landscape, featuring a massive cast of familiar faces from the DC universe as he tries to piece together the mystery of his path. He must unravel the cause of this terrible future and track down the unspeakable force that destroyed the world as he knew it. From the powerhouse creative team of writer Scott Snyder and artist Greg Capullo, the team that reinvented Batman from the emotional depths of Court of Owls to the bombastic power of Dark Knight's Metal, DC Black Label is proud to present the bi-monthly 3-issue miniseries Batman Last Night on Earth, published at DC's standard comic trim size. This could be the last Batman story ever told. Prestige format, it says here. You know what? Something actually, that cover's fantastic, first off, but we knew that, Capullo. It's on an A game, especially with the Batman. It does look like Joker's head is in a lantern. I'm excited to see what they do with this, but I've never seen a video clip attached to the preview there. So there's a little video clip. If you want to go to previewsworld.com and look that up, a little video clip. You can see a little trailer for the comic. Alex, what do we think? Batman Last Night on Earth, number 1.
I think for me this is one of those books that kind of depends. The way I'm understanding it's from the New 52 realm, correct?
Yes, it's like the finale to that run.
Okay.
It's that Bruce Wayne.
That makes me excited, but then it also kind of makes me weary on... That book's been done now for a while, and to go back again, I didn't care for Metal. That either has the possibility of being really great, or it has that possibility of just grinding in that screw a little harder and be like, okay, what the hell am I reading?
You're curious whether or not you can go home again.
Kind of.
Anybody who's reading Justice League...
No.
You guys dropped it, but towards the end of Justice League, of when you dropped it, was that Batman more like the Scott Snyder Batman since he is writing it, or is he adapting it to be the Tom King Batman?
This Batman is all my bones are broken and I live in a cast.
In Justice League?
Yeah.
Oh, he was fucked up?
He got the shit kicked out of him.
Okay. I'm excited to see this. I understand what you're saying. I would probably be more excited, and I think this is where you're coming from, if it was its own miniseries out of continuity. But since they're claiming it's like the end of their run.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's so disconnected you could just read this.
Well, and I mean, maybe that's the thing is that I realize it's going to be disconnected. It's going to be doing its own thing. We've been out of New 52 for 2.5 years, 3 years now. But I'm just, I don't know.
Also, at this point with Black Label, so far all we have is Damned, and that's delayed. And also we know at one point it was censored when Black Label was supposed to be, hey, do what you want.
Bad way.
So that also makes me kind of weary about, like, did they actually get to do what they want here?
Yeah.
So we'll see that. I did see pictures, so speaking of Black Label, Superman Year One, I believe it's called, from Frank Miller and
that one looks
JJ.
awesome.
It looks pretty good.
John Romita Jr.
And I actually don't like John Romita Jr. But I liked him in the Captain America run that he did for Recommender. I like him every once in a while, but usually his faces I can't enjoy. But in the Superman one, I actually did enjoy the way he set up those shots. Nice coloring. Catwoman, annual number 1, Joelle Jones, Elena Casagrande. Alex, here we go, $4.99. Selena Kyle walks the fine line in the criminal underworld. A thief herself, she's regularly on the wrong side of the law, not the road. When her personal life gives her crook colleagues plenty of reason to distrust her. When Catwoman finds herself at the center of a dark plot full of violence and intrigue, she'll have to decide which side is she on and who can she trust. If a leopard can't change its spots and a leopard is a cat, can Catwoman ever escape her own destiny? What do we think about this annual number 1?
You know, Catwoman's still one of those books I do enjoy. Joelle Jones is a great writer, but I'm missing out on her fantastic art. And that's really what the sell point for this book is. Like, I look at this cover going, oh, that looks amazing. And not that her other substitute artists aren't as good. Well, they're not as good. And I think that's my problem. It's much like when I was reading J-Lo, for those who don't know,
Yeah.
Justice League Odyssey. Sage Art was the reason I hopped on that book.
And what happened to him?
He's not there.
Gone.
3 issues in.
Yeah.
Decimated.
Missing in action, Sage. I agree with you. It's good, but when it's Joelle and Joelle on it, perfection.
Yes.
Detective Comics Annual number 2, Peter J. Tomasi, Travis Moore, Joel Quinones on that cover. After years on the shelf, Batman returns to the Black Casebook throughout his career. Batman has compiled his most disturbing cases in one volume, and it's every page filled with bizarre horror and crimes he never quite managed to solve. Now, a case from the past has reopened itself in the here and now. Batman will find himself face-to-face with one of the deadliest villains he ever fought in his early years, the Reaper. So I'm assuming there is a new Batman book coming out, like a series that's called Black Casebook. So I assume this is probably the start of that, where it's just going to be like one-shot Batman stories. Garrett, what do we think? Little pause in the Detective Comics story to do a little one-shot here.
I'm super excited. You know, I think you and me, Marvin, I don't think you've read a lot of Grant Morrison Batman, but huge fans of the Grant Morrison Batman run, and he's the one that introduced the Black Casebook. So I really love that they're bringing that back into the continuity, putting more emphasis on it. I didn't know about that miniseries, but that sounds awesome. Yeah, I think if it's going to start kicking off this little miniseries, that's exciting. I still remember buying that issue. Like, it legit looks just like the cover you see on that comic book cover. Just says the Black Casebook and has a symbol of a bat on it. Like, kind of, how do you say it? It's put on the cover. As if it was like an actual book.
I see.
Embossed. There you go.
I see. So the book is actually, it looks like his book.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's awesome, and I'm super pumped. Hopefully it doesn't go flat, because I think this would be a fun story and series to pursue.
Yeah, we'll see. I always like a nice Batman one-shot. Peter Tomasi is a good writer. We'll check that out. Travis Moore on art there. Dog Days of Summer number 1. This is DC usually once every season. They put out some sort of seasonal anthology. This is this summer's anthology. G. Will Wilson, Joshua Williamson, Marco Tamiki, Dan DiDio, Colin Kelly, Jackson Lanzine, and others. Steven Sajak. Oh, here he is. Tom Raney, Coley Hammer, Kyle Holtz, Kane Termy, and Francis Manipool. Right on the cover. $10. There you go. If you want an anthology, I know some people enjoy those little seasonal anthologies. Doomsday Clock number 10. Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, in this stunning issue of the critically acclaimed hit maxi series, reveals the secrets behind Dr. Manhattan and his connections to the DC Universe. What do we think, Alex? Doomsday Clock.
Doomsday Clock is one of those books that I don't think anyone else could write this book as well as Jeff Johns does. What a great build-up for characters that you don't see very often, being the Watchmen. And what a way to bring all these characters along with the Watchmen, the DC Universe, and let them be in the same world. That's exciting. So it's a great time for us as comic collectors. But I know for more like a Marvin and a Garrett, this actually even means more, because I know you guys love the Watchmen book probably more than I do.
Yeah, we do.
I'm excited to see where that goes. Doomsday Clock is still on fire, and it's... only thing that's kind of putting it out is the delays, but once it comes out a collected edition, it should be pretty good.
Well, I think the weird thing is that it's a slow burn, but every time I get an issue, it is spectacular.
It is good. Heroes in Crisis number 9 that is the finale. Tom King, Clay Mann, the most talked about miniseries of the year, reaches its stunning finale. What do you think here, Garrett? The finale of Heroes in Crisis. Wally, right on that cover. Wally, if I remember correctly, doesn't Wally have fair hair? Isn't it like a nice red hair?
Yeah. Why does he look kind of blonde?
That's what he's.
No,
he's
it's like
brunette.
dark, brown.
But I mean, it's dark behind him.
Yeah, that could be it. I have no idea.
Or it's evil Wally.
Oh yeah,
well, Wally is evil now. I am a little worried this won't stick the landing. I think there's been a lot of threads thrown out and barely any threads tied off. So, I mean, this is going to be a pretty powerful issue. I think, what was the issue that caused all the controversy? Was it 8 or 7?
Right? Yeah, the last one.
The last one. I read it and I didn't think it was horrible by any means. I think the story was compelling and I think it's gonna pay off. But I'm a little worried because like every mystery in this series has spinned off into another mystery without any of the mysteries getting solved. So unless I guess you think about the Flash mystery, then that got solved pretty quick and you got to see it for a lot of pages. So I don't know. I'm excited, but also nervous because it's a lot of content to wrap your head around, and I don't know if you can finish it in one issue.
Here we go. Superman Leviathan Rising Special number 1. Brian Michael Bendis, Matt Fraction, Greg Rucka, Mark Draco, Steve Lieber, Mike Perkins, and Yannick Paquette on art there. What do you think, Garrett, here? The introduction of Jimmy Olsen by writer Matt Fraction and Steve Lieber, and Lois Lane by Greg Rucka and Mike Perkins. And also Brian Michael Bendis and Yannick Paquette.
I'm excited for this event. What I will say about the Rising event, it's like good, but it's not great. Nothing's really happened yet that's like, oh my gosh, like this is the best event book I've ever read. But because of this, I'm getting a whole year's worth of Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen comic books. So that's exciting because they're only 12-issue maxi series. I get Greg Rucka out of it, Matt Fraction out of it. Just a lot of great.
Steve Lieber's going to be on it, right?
Steve Lieber. Yep. A lot of great creative teams. So I'm excited for what's going to spin off out of this book. So we'll see what happens.
It amazes me that DC has 3 event books because I consider Doomsday Clock an event. Heroes in Crisis, and then Leviathan Rising.
Are you guys getting Leviathan Rising so you can read the Greg Rucka
I'm going to get the Greg Rucka run,
Lois Lane book?
but I probably won't get this.
It's a prequel to it.
Yeah, they'll fill me in. Well, also number 23, War on Alice, John Davis Hunt. The storm of accidents, death, mistakes, confusion, and anger has led to this. Miles Craven has lost his grip, and Henry Bendick has lost his mind. Angie Speak journey is ending, so is life on Earth. What issue is the finale? Next one, 24?
24.
So it's the penultimate issue. What do we think, Alex, here, the Wildstorm number 23?
So I think every time we talk about this book, I consistently tell you the wheels keep spinning. There've been amazing episodes. Geez, there's been amazing issues, but I'm getting a little long-winded. I'm hoping that Warren Ellis really can wrap this up in a nice, neat bow. You can always leave the door open. I get that, but I also want to know that there's some finality to this. The art's always spectacular. I love this. I love how this book looks, but sometimes, not all the time, there are a few too many word bubbles. And not enough letting the art tell me a story.
Now, do you think the end of this will kind of be more of a placeholder for that Wildcats book coming out? Or do you think it's actually going to conclude its own story?
I'm sure they're going to leave it open to some extent, but there needs to be an end to this story. I get things can always carry on, hence the world of comic books has always been that way. But at some point in time, you do need to let at least some story ties be done.
All right, we go next to Marvel Comics Amazing Spider-Man number 22. Nick Spencer, Ryan Otley, Hunted Aftermath. The fallout from Hunted continues to loom, and much of Peter's life is called into question. What is left of Spider-Man after living through the harrowing hunt? What do we think there, Garrett?
I think this event, I would say, is like good, but again, not great. I love it, but I guess I haven't read issue 21, but like Craven doesn't even show up. He's not even in the
He's in the book, but he's not
in the first 5 issues of the 6-issue event.
He's the kingpin standing at the door going,
Right. Like the concept is interesting, but I think it's so small. Basically, the concept is Craven set up what's the Central Park to be this
hunting ground.
Yeah, this Thunderdome with a force field around it where millionaires can operate these like robotic suits from the safety of wherever they're at, and they can hunt all the villains that are like animals in the Marvel universe, or at least Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery.
Have you read 20?
I've read 20 and 20.HU.
Okay. I haven't read HU yet, but I've read 20. And there's, a little twist here and there that now the robots actually are connected to these people, to the millionaires.
Right.
So there's stakes now against them. We always thought the whole time that the robots were impenetrable.
Right.
And to find out that if the bad guys decide to beat the shit out of the machine, the person on the other end dies.
Well, then, like at this point, it's just kind of sick.
Yeah.
and it's like Craven hasn't shown up, and he just stands there in a suit, just staring out the window. Like I'm like, so what's happening here? Once you read 20.HU, you might be sick to your stomach a little bit more. Yeah.
The only thing that I'm wondering, and I haven't read 21, I haven't read 20HU, I am a couple issues behind, is the fact that there is another Craven. So Craven, Sergei, the love of my life of a man, he had 87 kids?
He had a lot of kids.
And one of them chose to kill all of their siblings.
To prove to Craven that he's the top dog. Yeah.
And I think that the son is going to be pissed at Sergei for wussing out and for not choosing to fight. Because I can't imagine, and who knows, maybe there's a final fight between the Cravens to find out who is the best.
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
There's things that I'm excited
There's
to
just
see.
a lot of buildup from this series about Craven for him to just stand in a room. It's basically like Cersei from Game of Thrones in the final season. She just stands there. What? She does? She doesn't really do much. She
Black
just stands.
Panther number 12. This is TC coach Jen Bartel, Daniel Cunha, Paulo Rivera on the cover. The gathering of my name reaches a turning point. The can't miss issue. Rising star Jen Bartel returns for the end of the second groundbreaking arc. Years ago, the Black Panther departed Earth for the stars and discovered an empire bigger than he could have dreamed. Learn at last how the king of Wakanda found himself a slave in the vibranium.
Jeez Louise.
Vibranium mines of a half familiar world. T'Challa. Its lost past is revealed here. What do you think there, Alex? It's looking like a lot of hype on this issue.
If you couldn't see my face, Garrett watched me go. Oh. John Bartel, if you're going to be on this issue, already top on that list. And if Acuna's on this, even higher on this list, this book will look amazing. And no offense to was it Kev Walker, I've been waiting for another artist to hop on this book just to see what else is out there. I'm super amped for this issue.
Well, I think the story itself, I think we've been waiting.
And we get some answers, yeah.
Yeah, we get some answers, finally.
Here we go, Daredevil number 6. Chip Zadarsky, Latit Kumar Sharma doing the art here. Let me just tell you, Garrett, the name of this arc, and then you can tell me what you think of this book. No Devils, Only God, Part 1. What do we think? There's the cover. You can look at the cover there. There you go.
I'm curious. Who's on the cover?
Just Daredevil.
That's him.
Yeah.
I wonder if this ties in.
Matt in a way.
Murdoch.
Does this tie into War of the Realms at all?
Nope.
No, because something happens in War of the Realms with Daredevil. So I don't know if that's.
It says Daredevil has disappeared from Hell's Kitchen, and in the absence, the real devils are just starting to come out to play.
So maybe this is it. It has to do with it, but it's not actually.
Right.
Did he disappear?
Guys bring.
You're not reading War of the Realms?
No.
Oh, Heimdall took him up to Asgard to the Bifrost, and he's now the all-seeing god.
He's blind.
Mm-hmm.
So is Heimdall.
No, he's all seeing.
No, he's blind after Thor when he got his eyes rammed in by Mangog.
But you just said he was all seeing.
When you're a god, you can do what
Uses
you want.
different senses.
Oh.
That's the thing is he can't see. He's still just super, super ridiculous hearing.
I'm excited, but it worries me when it says what happens when Daredevil's not there. Because I'm like, I really hate reading a book about a hero and then they're like only a cameo in their own book.
I would think Chip would do a very good job. One, because it actually does, like when you read Fantastic 410, actually is War of the Realms. It is just a nice tie-in. That makes me excited though to know what would the world be like without Matt being there.
Right.
And to see who rises up to take the city.
Well, it's New York. There's going to be like
Everybody.
20 billion other
Everybody's
people.
teaming up.
Yeah.
Kingpin. That's the weird thing is that Kingpin's literally the mayor of the city. No one should ever go up against the Kingpin. So
Yeah.
Fantastic Four number 10. Alex just mentioned it. Dan Slott, Stefano Caselli, Matteo Sclera right in the cover there. War Realms tie-in. What do you think of there, Alex? Tie-in.
I hate tie-ins. Most books when they have a tie-in, it's ridiculous. Fantastic Four. It's been a good book.
But is
from
it
time to
bad
time.
when the actual event is like fucking great?
No, and who knows? This actually could be a great tie-in to see the Fantastic Four. So it could be legit. But I'm one of those weird, and this is probably one of the best events we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
From Marvel.
The most exciting thing to me is that cover. When's Scalera going to start jumping on interior art on that?
Never. He's too busy.
He's too busy doing that Black Science. Immortal Hulk number 18. Also, if you want to notice, it looks like every single issue of Immortal Hulk's going to be reprinted this week. It's like all of them. Al Ewing, Joe Bennett, Alex Ross are on the cover. Bruce Banner is trapped inside Shadow Base Site A, powerless and hunted by their top assassin. He can't run forever. He can't change form, and he can't survive without the immortal Hulk, but not the one you think. Garrett, what do we think the immortal Hulk number 18?
I haven't read 17 yet, but I know it's about Grey Hulk. Super pumped for that because I don't know a lot about the Grey Hulk. But I know there's a different personality that's living inside of Bruce Banner right now. So I think that's a more interesting story than his dad taking over his body and obviously pissing people off or killing them. So
there you go. Garrett, I also haven't read number 17 yet, but I am excited. This book is obviously very popular. Beat out Batman so much they kicked Tom King off that book.
oh jeez,
I'm assuming, I don't know what's going on over there. I just don't get how you go, hey guys, I guess got confirmed for 105 issues, and then they have a meeting and they're like, oh actually no, I guess I'm going to 85. Was it 85?
85.
yeah, 85 will be a
So
slow.
50, what?
Once 2019 is
14
over,
issues?
he's done.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then he killed Catwoman in the end, or married her,
Curious who takes over.
or it just stayed the same.
Hopefully, who are the two people that were on Green Arrow recently?
What are their names?
The people you don't like, not those ones.
Oh,
Not the sisters.
right.
The ones before the sisters.
What were their names?
Whatever their names are, they're almost the transition people. So I'm sure they're almost the last minute transition people.
Oh, you mean Colin Kelly and
Yeah.
Jackson Lansing? If they're on that book, that will be the first time in years I've dropped Batman. I'm not getting that
X23
shit
number
done.
12, Mikiro Tamiki and Diego Olatugi. That's how you say it. What do you think about X23? Garrett.
Before we get there, though, what if they go to like Greg Rucka or go to like some fucking veteran to like bring that bad boy
you know
home?
The
I'm
one-
going to stick with, I'm pretty sure they're going to give him
Bendis.
Bendis.
Yeah,
They're going to take him off of Superman and give him Action Comics and Batman.
that'd be sick.
I would like to. I guess I like Tomasi and Detective. I'd be fine with that, and then give Superman over to
Tomasi?
Tomasi. Would be fine
Tomasi
too.
do Detective and Superman. There you go. Little compromise.
Depends. I've read some of Tomasi's Superman, and there's a couple issues. Hated.
We like some of
You're
it.
the worst.
Or Tom King. Tom King said he still has exclusive. He still has his exclusivity to DC, at least for the next almost 2 years. So maybe he goes on Superman. Who knows?
King needs to go back to Sheriff of Babylon number 2 for me.
Well, I mean, he's trying to do that.
He's trying. Stop trying. Just do it.
Well, I know that X-23 is close to ending because all the X-Men books are ending here very soon.
Yeah, a line reboot.
So I'm kind of, it's like bittersweet, double-edged sword. I'm excited because this story hasn't been as great as it used to be. A little sad though because there's no more X-23. But I think having this reboot with the X-Men titles, I think will A, save my wallet, B, maybe get the character back to her roots. I just really hope that Hickman doesn't kill off Gabby. Otherwise, this might be the last couple issues I have with Gabby, and she's like the best creation, I think, by Tom Taylor for the X-23 or X-Men universe for Honey Badger.
Here we go. The books for the 29th of May, 2019. Alex, what looks to be your pick this week?
TMNT number 94, City at War number 2. I'm all for this book. I'm ready to
Hob.
see some more ass
Who's
kicking.
Hob? Is he the guy with the eye patch?
He's the cat, yeah. He's
Yeah.
the cat that had caught Raphael, and they were a team for a little bit, and then spoilers from over 100, almost 100 issues ago.
Oh, well, I was going to catch up, so.
Spoilers.
Garrett, what do we think?
Doomsday Clock number 10. I know that book takes forever to come out, but you got Jeff Johns writing and Gary Frank on art. I've never read something by that creative team that was bad.
Well, I'm looking at the list again because that was mine, and it's not going to look and see what else. Oh, you know what? Batman Last Night on Earth, number 1. Excited to see what we get out of that. I'm just more curious of that book, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much does it tie in? How, obviously, it's in prestige format, so the first issue is longer than a normal size comic. And Batman Damned was like, what, 60 pages?
Yep. 60-page
So-
prestige format.
Be nice to get that from a Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo run or a little arc here, because if you get 3 issues at 60, 180 pages, that's almost like getting 9 issues out of them. So
Yeah.
pretty good.
And it's going to be in like really nice cardstock. Like,
And they have it all planned out. 3
Yeah.
issues. So, Alex, what do you think about this weather? Today a little rainy. Yesterday a little rainy. I'm here tomorrow a little rainy.
I heard tomorrow's supposed to be nice. I don't know who's telling you
Yeah.
bad info.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
let me
no,
look back
who's
at this.
talking to you? It rained right now. Well, it's raining right now.
yeah, you're right.
Oh, you're right.
Did you tell me bad info?
No, he's saying you're talking about last week, right? Today.
It's gonna be shit. It's gonna be shit. You're right. I'm sorry. I was
See, rain.
I was
told
pulling
you.
a Steve Rogers. I was back in time.
I'm
enjoying
so
his good
sick of
days.
rain. I'm sick of water.
72 today, 64 on Tuesday, 68 on Wednesday.
So it's gonna rain on. It rained on Monday. Cats and dogs. A lot of them on the floor. Watch out. And then
It's so depressing. You
yeah.
can't even do anything. It's summer. We had
Feels
the
like March.
longest winter ever, and now we have rain, the rain season, and we need Storm to come over here and just dry this fucker out.
You know, I
Do
wouldn't
you know
mind
what
the rain if
happens
it was a
to
little
toad when it's struck by
warmer,
lightning?
right? If it was a little warmer, about 70 and raining, that's fine. But not this
Yeah,
big.
but
I'm tired of rain.
constant rain.
No, I'm tired of the rain. I do like the rain, but I don't like the constant pouring.
Yeah,
I like a nice little drizzle.
I'm still recovering from the flood back in was it April or
Oh, yeah.
God?
I think it's March.
March?
March.
What was it that you lost recently? You told us about.
I lost about $200 worth of stuff. I lost about 30 comic books because I was organizing them. I lost some
See,
board
that's
games.
That's why you're not going to organize, baby.
And I lost some like oversized magazines, like comic magazines. So that kind of sucked because,
Just comic magazines.
dude, no one uses fucking porno magazines since the 90s. Yeah.
I don't know. That made you
I
find them in
didn't,
the woods.
but I don't know. I'd say the comics are really a bummer, but thankfully it's in a market where those books just came out and they're not really that expensive to replace. And then I got some of those that got damaged were Return of Wolverine, so I'm just not going to replace those.
Yeah.
Those are shit.
Just let
I'm
that shit
assuming those
rot.
books. Assuming those books took out themselves. They saw the water coming and they just tipped over right into it.
Let us die. Return to Wolverine.
Those are comics coming out this week. As you know, get them where you like them. Your local comic shop or online anytime at a local, not local, but your friendly neighborhood digital comic book shop. Whatever you like. I don't, like I said, I don't tell you where to get it. Have a nice day and have a nice week. That's called a 4-day week. And then you're back to the weekend. Hopefully it's warmer where you're at. But here it is rain, and my name is Marvin.
I'm Alex.
I'm Garrett.
Hey, everyone. Keep reading those books.